A woman sat in my chair last Tuesday, 63 years old, gorgeous bone structure, and she told me she'd stopped wearing foundation entirely. Said every single one made her look older than wearing nothing at all. Going completely cakey by lunch, oxidizing 2 shades darker, settling into every single line until she didn't recognize herself in the mirror. And the foundation she trusted most? That was the one doing the most damage. She's not the only one. I've spent 30 years in my own salon in Korea, doing makeup on mature skin, mostly on women between 40 and 65. I'm 51 myself, so I'm not guessing at what mature skin needs. I'm wearing it. Today, I'm calling out the 5 foundations that are aging you and replacing each one with something that actually makes your skin look like skin again. And the last foundation on my list? It's the one I put on my own face every single morning. You'll see why. Let's get into the damage first. These are the 5 foundations I see ruining mature skin in my salon, starting with number 5. Number 5 on the worst list, Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. The idea behind this one is beautiful. A soft, luminous finish that makes skin look lit from within. And for women in their 20s and 30s with smooth skin, it delivers that. But on mature skin with crepey texture, enlarged pores, and fine lines around the eyes, those luminous particles don't create a glow. They create a spotlight on every bit of texture you have. Every tiny crinkle under your eyes catches the shimmer. Every enlarged pore on your cheeks gets highlighted. The effect isn't dewy. It's distracting. I tested Ambient on 3 different clients with mature skin over 2 weeks in my salon. All 3 said the same thing. It looked beautiful for the first 20 minutes, then the shimmer started emphasizing texture they'd rather keep quiet. And at the price point Ambient charges, that's a painful discovery to make after you've already committed. But this next one is more frustrating because it tricks you into trusting it. Number 4 on the worst list, e.l.f. Camo Hydrating CC Cream. I know what you're thinking. It says hydrating right on the tube. And e.l.f. makes good products. You'll actually see them on my gems list later. But this particular formula is a wolf in sheep's clothing for mature skin. The Camo Hydrating CC Cream markets itself as a lighter, more moisturizing version of the original Camo concealer. But when you actually swatch it on skin that's dry and thinning after menopause, the coverage is way too heavy for what it claims to be. It's essentially a full coverage foundation wearing a CC cream label. On a 55-year-old client last month, this product clung to the dry patches along her hairline and around her nose like nobody's business. The hydrating part of the formula wasn't enough to counteract the heavy coverage sitting on top. She looked like she was wearing a mask, which is the exact opposite of what she was going for. And the shade range oxidizes on mature skin too. She went in looking like a match and came out 2 hours later looking orange along her jaw. Now this next one is going to upset some people because it's a fan favorite. But I have to be honest about what I see on the skin in my chair every single day. Number 3 on the worst list, L'Oréal Infallible. The name says it all, and that's exactly the problem. Infallible was engineered for longevity, 24-hour wear, transfer-proof. All of those things sound great in theory, but those features were designed for oily skin that breaks down foundation throughout the day. Mature skin after menopause doesn't have that problem. Your skin isn't breaking down your foundation with excess oil. Your skin is begging for moisture. And Infallible's long wear formula essentially locks everything in place, including every dry patch, every flake, every fine line. By hour 4, the foundation hasn't moved, but it looks like cracked clay across your cheeks and chin. I've had clients sit in my chair wearing Infallible who looked like they'd applied a plaster cast to their face. Not because they used too much, because the formula doesn't allow any natural skin movement once it sets. Your face moves when you talk, when you smile, when you laugh. Your foundation needs to move with it. Number 2 on the worst list, Photo Focus. This foundation was designed for one thing, looking good in photographs. And it does that well if you're standing under ring lights with perfectly smooth skin. But the heavy pigment load in Photo Focus doesn't melt into mature skin. It sits on the surface. On younger skin, you barely notice. But on skin with fine lines around the mouth, crepey patches under the eyes, a little sagging along the jaw, that heavy pigment turns every line into a canyon. I've seen women walk into my salon wearing Photo Focus, and the first thing I notice is the foundation emphasizing texture they didn't even know they had. And if you've ever taken a family photo with flash while wearing this, that white flashback on mature skin is brutal. The silica in the formula catches light and bounces it right back at the camera. You look washed out and ghostly in every holiday dinner photo and every grandkid's birthday picture. And the #1 worst foundation for mature skin. The one I see the most often and the one doing the most quiet damage. Maybelline Fit Me. I know, it's a classic. It's been around forever. And if you're 28 with normal to oily skin, it's probably fine. But on mature skin after menopause, Fit Me is working against you every single day you wear it. The formula was built for younger skin that produces plenty of its own oil. That matte finish it's famous for. On skin that's already dry and thinning, matte doesn't look polished. It looks chalky. It grabs onto every dry patch along your jawline and around your nose. I had a client in her late 50s come in wearing Fit Me, and by the time she got to my chair at 2 in the afternoon, the foundation had separated completely across her cheeks. There were visible lines where the product just stopped blending. She thought her skin was the problem. It wasn't. The formula was pulling moisture out of skin that had none to spare. If you're watching this and Fit Me is sitting in your makeup bag right now, I understand. It's affordable, it's everywhere, and it works fine for most skin types. Just not ours. Not anymore. Now, if you've been watching this far and you're wondering what you should actually be using, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe because I break down products for mature skin every week, and I only recommend what I've actually tested on real faces in my salon chair. Let's flip the script. These are my 5 hidden gems for mature skin. Foundations that actually work with your skin instead of fighting it. And I'm counting down to the one I wear myself. #5 on the gems list, e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This one flies under the radar, and I genuinely don't understand why. The satin finish gives you that healthy, natural look without the flat matte that ages you. It sits on mature skin the way foundation should, like a second skin, not a mask on top. The coverage is buildable too. You start sheer, and if you want a little more around age spots or redness on your cheeks, you layer it without caking. Under $15 at the drugstore, and it outperforms foundations I've used that cost 4 times as much. If Fit Me has been your go-to, try this instead. You'll feel the difference the second you blend it in. #4 on the gems list, CoverGirl Simply Ageless. CoverGirl built this formula specifically for skin over 40, and you can feel the difference the moment you put it on your hand. The texture is almost like a serum. It moves with your face instead of cracking when you smile or talk. I've used this on clients heading to family events, holiday dinners, weddings where someone's going to take 100 photos, and it photographs beautifully without any flashback. The coverage evens out redness and age spots without looking painted on. My one tip is to apply it with a damp beauty sponge on mature skin rather than a brush. Press it into the skin instead of wiping it across. That makes all the difference between foundation that sits on top and foundation that actually becomes part of your skin. #3 on the gems list, Milani Conceal Imperfect. Milani did something smart with this formula. They made it lightweight enough that it moves with your face throughout the day, but pigmented enough that you actually get real coverage without layering it on thick. I started recommending this to clients about 2 years ago, and the feedback has been the same every time. It wears well for 6 to 8 hours without caking, and when it does start to fade, it fades evenly instead of separating and cracking. It melts into the skin around your mouth and your smile lines instead of settling into them. For the price point, this is one of the best kept secrets at the drugstore. #2 on the gems list, L'Oréal True Match. True Match is the quiet workhorse that nobody talks about. The shade matching technology is genuinely impressive. They have warm, cool, and neutral undertones across a wide range, so you're far less likely to end up with that orange oxidation along your jawline by the afternoon. The formula is thin enough that it doesn't sit on crepey texture, but pigmented enough that you get real coverage where you need it. I use True Match on clients who come in saying they can never find their shade. 9 times out of 10, their shade exists in this line, and they just never tried it because the packaging doesn't scream, "Buy me." Don't judge foundation by the bottle. Judge it by what it looks like on your skin at 5 in the afternoon. And now, the #1 hidden gem, the foundation I wear on my own face every single morning. Luxe Color Changing Foundation. You squeeze it out and it looks almost white with a slight tint. Then you blend it into the skin and it shifts to match your exact tone. Your actual tone. So that oxidation that turns every other foundation orange along your jawline by 2 in the afternoon, it doesn't happen. The color already adapted to your skin chemistry on contact, but the shade matching isn't even the best part. The formula melts into the texture instead of sitting on top. I've applied it over crepey patches, marionette lines, dry spots along the chin that crack every other foundation. And Luxe just disappears into the skin like it was always there. This is the one I reach for first when a mature client sits in my salon chair, and it's the one I wear myself every morning before I leave. Remember the woman from last Tuesday? The 63-year-old who'd given up on foundation? I put Luxe on her. She looked in the mirror and her eyes got a little watery. Said it was the first time in years her foundation looked like her face. If you want to try Luxe yourself, I put the link in the description below. Click it, try it, and come back and tell me about it.